Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and we're back for part two. We're working on this dungeon sewer scatter. It's been a while. I've been down here just messing around and crafting. I made this like slime pile thing on a. I'm just making little scatter trains. That's all I'm doing, just to kill some time while I'm working on these scatter trains. So the first thing we want to do is we want to isolate the biggest portions of work. So to do that, we're going to get some brown into this pipe. Oh my gosh, where's my brush? I cannot find my brush. Oh, found it. And it's a flying brush. Who would have thought? So this is just some crappy, cheap plastic brush. Nice. All right. You're going to have to hit that inside too. You're going to paint that green again anyway, so if you get a little bit on there, it won't end the world. But you don't want to get a bunch of paint on there that you got to recover if you can help it. I can't stand her like a poo-poo-poo. Okay. Now, if you don't hit every section of it, it's going to be all right. I don't think we have brown anywhere else to really focus on. Oh, no. The rag pile for the rats. Slibberdy-dibberdy-doo, slibberdy-dibberdy-doo, slappy-bo-crappy-po-poo-poo-poo, dibberdy-dibberdy-doo. Well, there we go. That's probably brown enough. I'm going to use that last little bits on my brush. Just get some of this dirt covered. Even though I don't think that dirt's going to ultimately be brown. But I don't know. So I'm just going to clean my brush out on it and use that paint. Okay. Now let's clean that brush out. Let's focus on the bricks. So for the bricks, oh, I almost lost a miniature. I'm just going to use pewter gray. And I'm going to wipe some of that off. And if you've noticed, I'm not hitting them perfect because that's not my bag, baby. I'm just going to hit some of this dirt and stuff and some of this area around here just to break that up a little bit. Just because I want to. And I have some paint left in my brush. Let's use it. Okay. So, all three of these are going to need some air. Hot air, to be precise. So, in common Doom fashion, let's line them up and grab some magic item. The +2 hot air gun of burning. This is an ancient relic from the time before. And we're off to the races. So I'm just going to get a toothpick. Oops, that came loose. We're going to re-glue that. I'm just going to get a toothpick and kind of rough these up a little bit because they're kind of perfect, and that foam was not ideal for brick making, I'm thinking. I'll set that off to the side. All right, so for this, let's get a little bit of copper color and a little bit of brown. And I'm going to get a lighter brown than that. And my copper lid is broken, so I can't pour it nice. So I'm going to use this weapon bronze that I have. Because my actual copper paint is just shot. I'm going to add a little bit there, and I'm going to set this off to the side. I'm going to get that same brush I was using. Am I recording? Oh, yeah. Okay, I couldn't remember if I started or not. Sometimes I have bad memory. So I'm going to get that brown. I'm going to wipe a lot of that off. And then I'm going to kind of, not hitting every single spot, but I'm going to start working my way around, creating a pipe. And I really want to make sure I'm doing it in this direction, like back and forth, because I'm going to catch more detail that way. I'm going to hit the top. And then on the inside, I'm going to have to come up just so I don't hit all my green and make a bunch of extra work. Okay. Something like that. Then I'm going to get a little bit more of this and add it in. And I'm going to do a little bit more, but I'm not going to hit it in the same spots. So I'm going to get a little bit of that and a little bit of that. And make a brighter kind of. Okay, let's clean our brush. There's no metallics on these two, so we're kind of done with the metallics. All right, so now let's get a light tan color, something like this. Let me get a smaller brush to work with. This is just a crappy brush. I don't know where I got this one. And I'm just going to wipe a lot of that off, get it all in the bristles, then wipe it away. Then I'm just going to drag these around on these bricks. And I'm going to lighten them up pretty heavily because we're going to be darkening these up again in a step further down the road. Okay, rinse that brush out, grab some green. I'm going to use this English Ivy green that I have. Use whatever green you want, and I'm going to leave my brush damp. I'm going to steal some of that, and it's pretty wet. And I'm going to kind of hit the corners of some of these bricks. And I'm going to touch this around on the bases. And then if there's any spots on the outside of the bases that are going to need painted green, I'm going to use this color because it's close enough to my starter color. And then if you have some spots in here where a little bit of your darker green is showing out from the chip or anything, or the chipboard or anything, you can use this to kind of hide that some. See, there's a spot right here where I got brown on the ground. We're just going to cover that with this. And look at that on the edge. I'm going to use that color to paint that green. Just so it looks okay. All right. Let's put that green away for now. Since we're using greens already, let's get a medium green. This is called Kelly green. It's kind of a more vibrant, traditional green color. Let's get our Kelly green. And let's do a little bit more work on those bricks. Just to kind of add a little more variation. You could put a little bit on top of the other green if you wanted. It's going to look all right. Now I'm going to get water in that Kelly green and make a swicky wicky wet mess of it. A little more water. Now I'm going to come around in here and hit some of these areas that I want to be goopy and disgusting. And I'm going to line the inside of the muck pond with it. I'm just going to hit a couple little spots with that too. Just to add some variation and brighten it up a little bit. Alright, so these are going to need to dry, but air drying them is going to be okay, but ultimately I'm going to have to use a hot air gun, or blow dryer, but you know, plus 2 hot air gun burning. So now let's start dealing with this pile of cloth rags. So let's get another brown color and start picking out some of the rags that might be a different color in the pile. Okay. And I'm going to get a lighter color. This is like a beige color. Oh, it's called territorial beige. I had probably too much of that on the brush. I'm going to get a khaki. Okay. I'm just going to touch some of that around some of the spots. So I'm going to hit my bricks a little bit with that, just some dabs of it. I'm going to hit some spots over here just to create some color variation. Nothing too extravagant. So let's line up and back up and let's cook them. Summoning the power once again of the +2 hot air gun burning. You could stop here if you wanted. Just do like the slime and then be done. But I have some things I'd like to do. So I'm going to grab another piece of cardboard that's not covered in paint. And I'm going to get this color called Antique Parchment. Oh, that is not mixed at all. Now if I had to make a wild guess, I'd say it's going to be kind of chunky. Well, it doesn't look terrible. I'm going to get some of this khaki. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a dry brush. So I'm just using a cheapy makeup brush. I'm going to get the khaki and the whatever that color is. I'm going to make something kind of a tone down from where we were. Okay. I'm going to wipe a lot of that off. I'm going to kind of touch my pile. And lighten my pile of rags and stuff up. And put some continuity in there. Okay. Then I'm going to get the just white and mix into that same paint. I'm going to do it again. But I want less of the just antique white. Okay. Then I'm just going to kind of touch around and grab some spots on each of these. Like I'm going to hit these rocks here. The dirt and rocks around the puddle. I'm just going to give these things a little bit of a uniformity. Make them all kind of look like they go together. Alright. So now we have to worry about slime next, I think. Let me clean that wet spot up. Alright. Let's worry about the slime. So I'm going to get a medium-sized brush. This is something I use for like everything. My Doom brush. I'm going to get it wet. And I'm going to pick a color of green. So my slime is going to be green, and I'm going to use this limeade color. This is another one of the Walmart paints. And you don't want to go thick and clumpy here. You want to kind of keep it thin, and if you have to do 2 coats, it'll be better than going real thick and having like lumpy horribleness. And if a little bit of the darker shows through it, like if it's kind of thin, that's not bad. You can make that work for you. Pretty nasty. I'm going to get a little water on my brush. There we go. A little bit more. I'm going to come in from the edges real thinly. And I'm going to kind of muddle it around in some different little swirls and stuff. After I feel like I've convinced myself that I got enough up on the edges here. I have a good shape. Okay. Something like that for that. Now on this one, where's the third one at? Oh, there it is. I didn't really have a spot plan for that. So what I'll do is, since I want them all to kind of look congruous, like they all go together, I'm just going to take some of that and make a gross wet spot of slime here. All right. Let's line them up and dry them up. I'm going to hit my brush with some water here and start cleaning that out while we hot air gun these. All right. So let's grab a gray, a medium gray, any kind of medium, light to medium gray that's lighter than the high brushes that we did, the high brushes, the dry brushes we did. And get a piece of cardboard back up here to work with. And let's redo these bricks real quick with a real dry brush of the medium to light gray. Kind of come back over those a little bit and take away some of the vibrance and some of the color change. And this will kind of give it a little more of a gunky, crappy look too. I'm going to hit some of this fabric with that too, but I'm going to have a little bit more paint on the brush. And all I'm doing is trying to get the spots that look just too white that I don't like. If they're just too light, I'm just going to hit them with that gray. Okay, there's my rat nest. Now let's get that same gray. Do these bricks again. You can still see the color through it, you know. I'm just going to hit some of these spots here that I think use a little variation. On this one, I wanted to hit some of this in here a little more, but I wanted to make sure I didn't have much paint left on my brush. Okay. Let's put that away, and let's get some clear gloss Mod Podge. Do I have gloss? Yes, I do. Sweet. Now, since I'm not going to, well, I should clear coat these. The thing is, if I clear coat these, then I come back, I can't show you guys me Mod Podge them because I don't edit or anything. I just kind of do my videos and quit. So I am going to just go ahead and do it this way. I'm going to get my Mod Podge and a cheap brush. And you really don't need a super thick coat. You want to make sure you cover up all your green. And have a little swirls in there. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell icon. Leave me a comment, share it if you feel so compelled. All that kind of like, you know, stuff you kind of need. Do that call to action stuff. I love that term, call to action. For all you veterans that watch, doesn't it seem kind of like a false nomenclature for a call to action? Like, save my YouTube channel and help. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I know that this is some people's like livelihood and stuff. I shouldn't judge or make jokes. I just think it's hilarious that they call it a call to action. But anyways, yeah. And I found out that several viewers are veterans, and I want to thank you guys for your service. I know it's past Veterans Day, but I want to thank you guys for your service if I didn't. I think I did on the day of, but I just want to reiterate, thank you for your service. And that extends to non-veterans to an extent too, because everyone's purposes in society are actually really important. Like if you think that bus drivers and nurses and and the sanitation workers that pick up your trash and stuff aren't important, you got to rethink your shit, because the pile would garbage up. The garbage would pile up quick. The roads would fall apart. The people would be in the triage forever and die. I mean, like, everyone in society, even the workers at the fast food places and stuff, have an enormous impact on our level of comfort. So anyways, I'm going to clear coat these, and I'll have to come back and paint them with the Mod Podge again when they're dry. I'll clear coat them and Mod Podge them again so they're shiny. But you can see it gives it a nice shine. I already did that part, the call to action, and then I made fun of it. So if you like what I'm doing here, also feel free to buy miniatures. Not the miniatures I make here on the channel, but the miniatures that we sell on dungeonswag.com. There will be a link in the description. You can get 25% off the monthly hero box, or you can get a whole mini sent to your house at no expense to you. We cover the shipping and everything because we believe in our products. You can get one sent to you. You can try it out for yourself. But they are sturdy and bendy, and they are highly detailed. They are beautiful miniatures. The artist, Sven, that does these is phenomenal. He is next level. I cannot say enough good about him. So here's the sewer scatter that I made with you guys, and here's some extra sewer scatter that doesn't match that I made on my own, as I was just playing around and killing time. And I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to spend with me today. It's been awesome. And we'll see you next time. Join the Discord, hang out, paint minis with us and stuff. That'd be sick. All right, later, dudes.